To make the water feature, I've got a takeaway container in a Japanese restaurant, which is a nice clear see-through one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this kitchen and bathroom silicone, and as I said, I always like to make things just a little bit bigger in case I don't like something and I can use somewhere else. So we're just going to take some silicone and make a bead of it going across like that. Then you're going to take some toothpicks and mess it up a little bit. So that's pretty much what we've got. See, it's got little pieces that are, don't know if you can see that, little pieces that are sticking up like that, so that it looks like little splashes in the water. Let's make it back up like that. There you go. So that's what you're aiming for. Then you just put that aside to dry. Now you don't need it to be very, very wide because it's a very, very small little waterfall. So that's pretty much what you're looking for. Now that your silicone is dry, we're going to just take some white titanium white paint, and we're just going to dab it on so that it looks like it's a bit of water. So just a little bit around the sides, a little bit on the top, just to make it look like the water is actually falling and hitting the water. So we've got just little bits like that. And that's all that you do with that. Now we wait for that to dry. Take a piece of scrap paper now, and what we're trying to do is make a template for cutting out. So the best that you can, just try and cut out so that the paper fits flush in there. So just taking a marker and just trying to get rid of some of the pieces so that we're going to get it flat. And then cut that out. Don't know whether you can see that. And then you do the same on the other side. Once you've got this shape of the one side, take some paper towel and just put it in the middle, and take a small piece that's going to fit so that you can balance it, so it's a lot easier to work out what the pattern is going to be. And then put that one in, and then trace your pattern and cut that out. Then when that's cut out, take the original one that you've got and then just put the pattern next to it, and then you've got the complete piece. Once you're happy with your shape, and just tape them together. And now we have our template that we're going to be using for cutting out our riverbed, which we made earlier, which is this one with the waterfall splash. Once you've worked out what your pattern is going to be, place it on your little piece of splash that you want to use and tape it to the back, and then just cut that out. Once you've cut it out, check to see that it's fitting properly, that you're happy with the fit. To me that's quite a nice fit. And then we got to silicone it in. Try and mark where you actually want to draw the silicone. So if you just put a line across where you actually want to put the silicone, it makes it just that little bit easier to place it in. So once you've drawn that way the silicone is going to go, then you can remove your little piece to start working with it. Now you're going to take the paper towel that you've had in there to balance it all, and you're going to wrap it in cling wrap. So you've got a nice fit that will go back in there. And then on the sides, put dish soap so that the silicone doesn't stick to it. So we're just going to put a wee bit of dish soap on there. And then just rub it in on both sides. Now we're ready to do our silicone. Right, let me just place it back in so that we've got something to hold our little piece in place while we do the silicone. When you're doing the silicone, try and use a new nozzle so you've got a very, very small little hole that you don't get too much silicone. If you cut it off at an angle, you're going to get too much silicone and then you're going to have a big mess. So once you put your new nozzle onto the silicone, then we're going to put it on where we've marked it off. So because it's a new nozzle, we've got to press it a few times to get the silicone through. Right, so put the silicone on now. And now we take our piece of plastic that we've cut out and glue it in. It does take a few little wiggles to get it in there because you don't want to get the silicone all over. So go carefully, put one side in first so that it's in properly, and then the other side so it's sitting quite nice and flat, making sure that you're actually getting into the silicone. Now you'll see there will be a bit of silicone that comes through the top. So now what you want to do is you want to take your toothpicks once again and mess up the side of the silicone, which is like that, so that it actually looks like you've got the water hitting it against the side. So just mess it up a little bit so that it's not a nice neat ridge. Try and get some little points so it looks like it's bashing against the rocks. And then we're going to put that aside to dry. Once the silicone is dry, then we can try and take out our little piece that's in there. If we put enough dish soap on, it should come out quite easily. I need to get a pair of tweezers. Right, so I've got a pair of pliers and then we're going to just try and pull it out. And there you go. As you can see, we've got it looking rather nice and messy, like it's the water bashing up against the side. Any little straggly pieces that you've got, you want to just pull off. Then we're going to take some white paint and we're going to just paint it a little bit around the sides so that it looks like it's more like water, like a little waterfall splashes here. So I'm going to be painting it with some white, titanium white paint. We're not actually going to be painting as such, we're just going to be dabbing it on. So take this pretty small, fine little brush like that, so that you don't get too much paint. Then we just start at the bottom and just dab just a little bit, so that, not too much, because you don't want it to be overdone. And you're done. So that's our little faux water feature.